School is only boring if the teachers aren't good. There's a negative stigma around schools, so here's the truth: bad teachers are the one of the biggest problem. Think about it, your favorite teacher from way back when probably liked his/her job and teach the lesson in a fun way. Bruh, how can you ignore the most obvious part, the fucking kids? If the kids are cool PPL, then school is insanely fun. I still remember in my last school used to literally wanna wake up in the morning and go because the PPL over there were so awesome, especially my friends OFC. I vividly remember all my good teachers. Their faces, mannerisms, temperaments. I don't remember a single shit teacher. Edit. Going to go see the man that made the biggest impact on me at school this week thanks to this post. Cheers guys. I agree to disagree. It's all about perception at any given time, too. For me, I was an especially terrible student. It wasn't till many years later I realized how many of the teachers actually tried to help me. School for me could have been amazing if my home life was amazing. It really could have been wonderful. Now that I'm older, with a clearer mind and a healthier outlook, I think I'd find the exact same school at the exact same time really enjoyable. But back then, heck no, I totally agree with you. Also the loud kids. And bullies. And homework. The mark of a good teacher is not how much fun a student is having in that class. Teachers are not entertainers. This is nonsense that started some time back, and I watched it destroy otherwise good educators. Watching perfectly functioning teachers pretend to be funny and cool was agonizing. I don't judge my letter carrier on how well he sings. Why should anyone judge a teacher by the fun levels in their class? I think that there's way too many reasons why school is bad. Especially for bad teachers to be the main one. There's reasons like, students have to go 6 hours a day, homework is completely pointless yet forced upon students, students are all educated the same way despite everyone having different mindsets and goals, students have short breaks after doing 2 hours worth of lessons, and nearly everything that students do is in some way restricted. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I don't think that a good teacher can make your day any more fun if you consider all of these underlying issues. I remember one of my favorite teachers was my high school biology teacher. She actually made me think that teaching could be a fun job. On the other side, I had an English teacher who favored collective punishment with lots of line writing. He's why I hate writing to this day. A teacher can make or break a whole subject, it stands to reason they can make or break a day too. My 2 cents, as somebody who had both cool and boring teachers, it's a combination of teaching style and curriculum. At first, I thought that studying was a bore in and of itself. I was then introduced to my favorite teacher, who was also in charge of my class in about 8th grade. He taught us humanities and Bible studies. Despite being an atheist, I always recall our Bible lessons with fond memories. What made his lessons so entertaining was his highly personal teaching style and tangents on topics that tied into the major thesis of the lesson. He would include non-curriculum deviations and interpretations about biblical figures that would simply not fly were the higher UPS to hear of it. To be clear, he crystallized to us that his interpretations were subjective, so to avoid brainwashing. Additionally, he would welcome our own input even in contradiction to his own. In other words, he stimulated our minds instead of feeding us prescribed BS. My math teacher of the same school was also a highly engaging figure, but unfortunately, he couldn't translate his personality into the study itself, perhaps owing to the exacting nature of math. The lessons were dry and tedious. I feel what could help students appreciate math in school is to know about its historical background, everyday application, and potential. For example, if you told me I can use math to date the age of the universe, that would romanticize this otherwise stale subject. The problem is schools have no imagination when teaching methodology is concerned. Most schools think that hammering information into your head is the way to go. The saving grace of the education system is singular characters who infuse their own personal style and content into the curriculum, at times at a risk to their profession. Nowadays I simply want to know everything, because I understand that every bit of knowledge contributes to my specialized areas. That's the key, to figure out the worth of a study domain to your individual goals. I want to specialize in storytelling. Not telling stories by itself, but narratology, as in the study of stories. It is therefore conducive to my goals to know as much as possible about everything, since almost everything factors into stories we tell each other. History, politics, psychology, religious symbology, myths, physics, sci-fi, storytelling integrates all of these and more, which makes me desperately curious to know it all. If students can figure out the worth of their school studies in their own lives, they'll be in a better mentality and find purpose in going to school every day. Education is a group effort. Even if you have the greatest teacher, bad students can ruin everyone's learning. What time does everyone's school start? Mine starts at 8 a.m. so I sleep from 10:30 to 6:30. 8 hours if sleep is a healthy amount, so I'm curious why some people lack sleep. Optimally, if someone spends their free periods in a nice environment studying and works hard in class, they shouldn't spend too much time on homework. Though that's just my experience and I'm a freshman, so I don't know higher grades. We need more teachers like Koro-sensei, from Assassination Classroom Anime, who not only care about students' academic performance but also care about their growth as an individual. Personal growth is something which should be stressed upon in schools. But sadly, school isn't about teaching lessons nowadays but about achieving results in exams. It's sad, really. But change needs to come.